Hello YouTubers, welcome back. So tonight I'm going to be doing an unboxing of one of my regular subscriptions, Prudence and the Crow. Prudence and the Crow is a vintage book subscription, and basically what it is that when you sign up you are asked to fill in the questionnaire saying what type of vintage book you like, and you can choose from classic, sci-fi, I think, crime, children's, or basically like a random selection of all of those. I think, if memory serves. You can also state whether or not you're particularly interested in certain authors, and also the things that you really don't want to read. It's £15 a month, and so for that you get this sort of bespoke selection service, and you also get like a book cover and lots of little trinkets to go with it. So it comes in an envelope, and actually this month, for me at least, the envelope is a little bit bigger than usual. It also has fragile, handled with care at the top there. So I'm intrigued to see what's going on this month. I've had this book subscription for a little while now. Initially I said I wanted classic, and also mentioned a couple of authors. And since then I've sort of widened it a little bit and said basically I'm happy with anything, and I've mentioned a couple of other authors as well. They've been very good to me so far, so let's see what happens next. Okay, so it's a fairly big envelope, but I think the inner envelope is the same as usual. This is very cute. They always do these little brown parcels, which I really like. So I guess it's like an Easter bunny type thing this month, and the Prudence and the Crow sort of logo there. So let's have a look inside. So there's always like little trinkets or stamps and things like that, and there's always like a couple of teas and some sweets, that kind of thing. So let's see what they have given us this month. So the first thing I can show you is some sweets. There you go, fizzers. I'm a sucker for these type of sweeties. I know they're very bad for you, but I really like them. There's also something called bouncing putty. Okay, that could be interesting. Bouncing putty. I shall look forward to investigating that a little bit later. I guess you sort of put it out in a little ball or something, and you bounce it across the room. How interesting. There's also a postcard here. It's actually got a message on the back as well, which is quite intriguing, and it's from 1993. So there you go. So so if you have a look at the stamp if you look at the date stamp there, you see it's from the 1st of September 1993. How interesting is that? Yeah, I kind of like that. That's very cool. They always have this little library card thing. So as you can see, this is my 9th book. And it's like an old-fashioned type of library card where you used to go to the lending library and have the date that you had to return the book stamped on a little card. Now, of course, it's all very electronic. So we've all had these before. They're usually found in Christmas crackers and like that, things like that. And it's just a fortune teller fish, which is always fun. So I'm guessing there are a few bits and pieces in this little envelope as well. I'm going for this fairly quickly because it's about 12 o'clock at night. So I could have done this tomorrow, but I was too interested to see what the offering was this month. So yeah, so here are the teas. So the first tea is a Taylor's tea. In fact, they're both Taylor's teas this month. This one is green tea and delicate pear. I look forward to trying that later. And also sweet rhubarb. Two quite fun teas to try. They also have given me a sticker type thing. It's like a sticker type thing, but anyway, there it is. And I always like these because it's a sticky thing. You stick at the front of the book saying this book belongs to. So there you go. So there's all the little trinkets and stuff. Now to the main event. As I say, they always put it in a handmade book cover, which is brilliant for people like me because I tend to read my books on the tube going to work, and it certainly protects it from becoming damaged. Particularly that these are vintage books, and some of them are quite old. I mean, the one I got last month was from the 60s, so no, I just want to check to make sure. Right, so here we go. Now, I said in my in my questionnaire initially I said classic, and I also mentioned Philip Dick and Terry Pratchett as two authors that's particularly interested in. Since then I have widened my search, and I've also mentioned, I've said like pretty much anything goes, but I'm also quite interested in kiddies books from my childhood. So last month I got Winnie the Pooh, which I thought was brilliant. I also mentioned, did I mention Eden Blyton? I think I may have done. I'm showing that because I've just had a sneak preview of what's in here. So without further ado, I'm going to refill the book. And I also had an Eden Blyton book which I just bought from them, because sometimes they sell vintage books just as books on their own without all this stuff. And I got one last month, which was quite good. So with this in mind, let's see what's in this month. So I think it's Eden Blyton. I devoured these books when I was a kid. I mean, I know they're not necessarily all that PC these days, and she was definitely an author of her time, and I think people got to understand that when they read Eden Blyton books. You know, this was a lady who was around where girls were meant to be at home knitting when boys, you know, that kind of stuff, and boys were the ones who were having fun outside. So I think you do have to take that into consideration with any of her books. And I know some of them are a little bit racist as well, but I think they've been kind of doctored a bit since anyway. So if you take that into consideration, I think she is a very good author. So let's have a look to see which one I have. So it's definitely Eden Blyton. 5 Get Into Trouble. So it's a Famous 5 book, I think. Yes, it is. This one says it says here the Famous 5, Julian, Dick, George, Anne and Timothy the dog, their 8th adventure together. I know I must have read this book as a child, but I can't remember what it's about. No idea, because it was such a long time ago. Do remember always wanting to be George, but I challenge any young girl who was reading the Famous 5 back in the day not want to be George, because she was the one who clearly she had a dog and had lots more fun than Anne ever did. This must be a really old book, because it says in the back 3 shillings, which is so I should have a look inside in a minute. Come on. It does, seriously, it does say 3 shillings on there, or 15p says in brackets, which is 3 shillings, I can tell you that. I also like the front. I've never seen an Enid Blyton book with this type of front before. I think I probably got like more up-to-date copies when I was a kid, if you see what I mean. So, also says, here look, it says age 11, Susan Keane, 1970 Christmas. Present for Mum and Dad. This was a year before I was born. So the lady who got this book is probably going to be in the 60s by now. How cool is that? So this one was this edition was first published in 1968. This was clearly bought in 1970, as I say, a year before I was actually born. So now you know how old I am. And how cool is that? I should definitely enjoy looking through this and reading it again. And at the moment I am actually reading the Winnie the Pooh from last month. putting down other things that I was reading just because I wanted to read Winnie the Pooh, and I shall look forward to reading this as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have Prudence and the Prudence and the Pro subscription, please do drop me a line and tell me what you think of the selections they give you and the subscription in general. It'd be really good to see. It would be really good to hear from other people, and I'll be back shortly with another unboxing video, which is probably going to be a box item because I think that was posted today. Have fun. Thank you very much for watching.